Hello and welcome to On a Grand Scale podcast. This is Nyoni, the founder of Grand Scale. This podcast is where real conversations about what it truly takes to scale meaningful work take place. We help founder-led organizations build systems that allow them to grow beyond the founder. We found that many missions don't stall because of passion or funding. They stall because systems haven't caught up with the vision. So we're here to talk about leadership, strategy, finance, governance, the hard decisions behind a real growth. And today I'm excited to have Wongalethu Vakala, who is the founder of Wonga Technologies, a Cape Town-based IT company that helps businesses and communities stay connected. Wonga is a self-taught technologist turned entrepreneur. He started his first business at 20 and built his journey from humble beginnings, including a period of unemployment. Now, his company has serviced over 600 clients. He has 12 employees, and they are into installing networks and growing, and they are growing into a trusted service provider in the IT sector. Wonga, welcome to this podcast.
Thanks, Mr. Owen. It's lovely to be here, man.
Good. I've just summarized your profile, and I know there is a lot more that we're going to talk about as we go. I know that particularly your mission is something that we're going to go deeper into bridging the digital divide in Africa. But
Oh,
before we go into all of that, I want to just set the stage and get to know who you are.
sure.
So, who is Wonga? Where did you grow up? And what was your early childhood like? And how did it contribute to who you are now?
Um, Originally, I'm from Port Elizabeth, the Windy City, right? A big township there called Motherwell. I think it's the biggest township in Port Elizabeth. So come from a big township. Come from a loving family. Honest to God, I come from a loving family. So my parents were apartheid activists. They were extreme activists from the apartheid era. And then I think things fell apart early 2000. I think things fell apart for them then. And our situation at home began to deteriorate and get worse. But I think what they did well was to give us the fundamentals of family. So the
Mm,
structure was there,
mm,
the love was there,
mm,
and attention sometimes, or
mm,
what could they give at the time? Their own definition of attention, they did give.
mm,
So I come from a family of three brothers. I have an older brother who's a civil engineer, and I have a younger brother who's also a civil engineer. And
mm,
then I'm the one who went to the tech space. So I come from that kind of setup. It's boys only, it's bullying, it's banter, and all of those things, right? And my mother is a very religious woman, and both my parents were religious. Just that my father was more, he was in and out of religion. He was inconsistent. My mother was the more consistent one. And my mom believes that if I go to church, my whole family goes to church. So whether you want to
there was no excuse of
there's no
hey,
excuse.
what? If
On
it's
Sunday
Sunday,
morning,
it's Sunday. It's Sunday for church.
hey, she's locking her house. So if you're not coming to church, you are looking to the house. So I come from that kind of environment. So that is what shaped Wonga, or that's where Wonga grew up, basically. So grew up playing street football and cricket on the streets and everything we can play that we had. We had resources to play with. I come from that background. I was very skinny though. I was very, very skinny. This is the married body, but I was very, very skinny in my early stages.
Married
In my early
body.
stages.
Okay.
Uh,
So So you said your mom and both parents were activists in
Both
the
parents were extreme activists of the apartheid.
okay. And what did they do after apartheid? And you were born we 90s, 80s. Ithi into yakho.
So my dad was, I think, after the freedom, yeah, right, 94. So my dad became ward councillor
Yeah.
around that time. And then that didn't last long. Before that, he was a merchandiser at Coca-Cola and a truck driver at Coca-Cola for a couple of years. And then, according to him, he was supposed to be up there in Parliament, but things happened, didn't go his way because of.
Oh,
We grew up, my dad naming everyone in Parliament that, oh, that's my friend, I have his number, that's my friend. So at that point, like, why aren't you in Parliament, bruh? Because these are your friends. And they would come visit sometimes. So maybe once in a year, they would come visit, chill at our house, all of those things. So my dad was very political, and I think the year 2099 he got a job at the municipality.
right.
And then 2000 or 2001, he got into an accident,
Mm,
which resulted in a person passing away.
mm.
So that's when he did time in jail. So that's when things just went south very, very
South
quickly. Very
for the
quick.
family.
He was the breadwinner at the time. So
Mm,
things went south. But I think I'm grateful for family because of I think his cousin took my brother in, my big brother. My big brother was in a sort of like a Model C school. Right?
mm.
I was in a township school with my little brother. So his cousin stepped in and took my brother to live with him so he can be closer to school because she
Right.
lived in the suburb areas.
Mm,
Um, and then it was just me and my mom and my little brother for a year or two, I think.
mm,
So I know the life of eating leftovers from the neighbors. I know
mm,
the life of not having food for 2 days.
mm.
And I'll never forget this lesson until the day I die. My mom would wake us up in the morning, 6:30, and we would wash, and then she would make sure. So she never got involved with us getting ready for school, but she did excellently. She would take a huge chunk of Vaseline and then put it in our face to make sure that we shine. And then she would say, people must not see poverty from your face.
You can't look like your problems.
You can't look like you're poor. No, 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 no. So she would do that every morning, every morning. Then she would go to bed. And I remember during lunch times, there were what we call rations. So rations is like government bread. It's
Right,
like
right, right,
substandard government bread. That bread
right.
was that bread was hard. Yo. So they would put rama on it, but not like properly put rama on it. You know when rama is hard. So it's just it's bits of hard pieces of bread, and the bread would be torn, right? And they wouldn't even cut it properly. A slice would be like this thick, one slice, or this thick. Right? So we would have those for lunch most days. And I would come home and we didn't have food for supper, right?
Mm,
And it got back to a point where my mom couldn't afford my big brother's school fees, and the school would send the lawyers to repossess our furniture. So I
oh.
remember one, so I remember one day coming home with my little brother. I think I left him behind that day because he used to play around a lot.
Mm,
So I come home, when there's a commotion around your house, and then you
mm,
get that fear, maybe your mom fainted or something happened to her or whatever. But as you get closer, it was a big truck, and when I arrived, the truck was just finished packing and leaving. So I get to the house. The house looks like a hall, like it's an empty hall. You just have your dishes and spoons and those ice cube trays from the fridge, right? They're lying down. Everything is just down. Everything
mm.
is just down on the floor. Our parents, they keep all certificates and letters on the wall units. Everything is just done. My mom was sitting on the floor, and then when we arrived, or when I arrived, she went to the bathroom and then she closed herself up in the room. I think we still had beds though, and they didn't take the beds, so they just took the wall units, the fridge, and the microwaves, everything that they can take. They could take the couches, they took everything, and I think that was one of the lowest moments. One of. But then
Yeah.
the more I remember, that was one of the lowest moments that signaled that okay, we're really struggling.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
really going through it. And if you see that situation, you sort of like have an internal agreement with yourself or with your brother, with your mother, that I can't ask for supper or I can't ask if there's food because you already
Oh.
see what the situation is like. So it's sort of like an unspoken agreement, and you go to your room and you wash your shirts. If there's soap, or if there's no soap, you don't wash your shirt, you leave it there and you do your homeworks. If you're brave enough, you'll go around, you go outside and play, right? Because of even then, you know that you are to be, you're the talk of the town, basically, right? Because of if you go around and play, your friends are going to be asking what happened, why did they take you, all of those things. Because of that was the first time that we were the first to experience that where we lived. So there was
Okay.
no reference to say, oh, this has happened before
Someone
in.
has ever had their furniture
Yeah,
being taken
yeah, yeah,
away.
yeah.
Mm,
So
yeah.
yeah, so I think that was one of the iconic moments of when we experienced poverty. Obviously, there were times when we went without food. I think my mom one day came back. It was around 8:30 or 7:30. I'm not sure, but it was a bit dark. She came back with a bowl from enamel, right? It's not glass, it's enamel.
Mhm.
She came back with a bowl like that. It was medium size, not big, not small, just medium size. And it had rice with potatoes together.
Mm.
So she said, you guys eat, right? She wouldn't eat it. She said, "No, you guys eat." When we tasted it, the rice was spoiled. When the rice is spoiled, right? It starts to come together and it gets moist. And that was my one of the memories I'll never forget, Mr. So we had that for supper that night. We didn't finish it as much as we were hungry because of
Mm.
you can smell rice that's boiled. You can
Mm.
smell it. Literally, you can smell it. But because of we didn't have a choice, um, that's what we had that day, that night. And you can't ask your mom why did they give us food that's spoiled and stuff like that because of she even got a reputation of going around asking for food in the community. I think I'm a bit glad that my big brother didn't experience the extremes that we did because of he was living soft with my aunt.
Suburbs.
Suburbs. He even had a PlayStation swimming pool. I'm like, this is foreign to us. Right. And yeah, we grew up watching TV next door those years. We were watching TV, wrestling. Wrestling was a big thing when we were growing up. So, Wednesday, 8:30, you have to go next door and say, can you please ask to watch wrestling at least? The soapies, we don't mind, but at least wrestling, because at school tomorrow, they're going to talk about wrestling. They're going to talk about wrestling at school. So, and some days we would go next door and they would be eating supper. And it wouldn't even be something fancy. Maybe it would be bilchard and rice or spaghetti. But the way you craved it, just a decent meal, just a warm, decent meal. And some
Wow.
days they would dish for us, and some days they wouldn't dish for us. And you can't be angry because if you're there to watch TV, you ask them to go here to watch
Mm.
TV, and they
Mm.
would be gracious enough to allow us to sit on the floor and watch TV. That
Yeah.
period from 8:30 to 9:30, flip. Mr. Only taking me back. Yes.
Hey, hey. And I can't even stop you at this point. I'm just like, hey, let's hear this story out. So, how do you think this part of your life has contributed into maybe the values that you have, um, the beliefs that you have around life in general, and uh, how did this contribute towards your um, current entrepreneurial career?
I think I haven't traced it properly on my entrepreneurial career. I've done so on the surface, but I think on my values as a person, my wife will tell you that I'm always helping people,
Yeah.
always helping people.
Mm,
And I like that even when I leave this planet, most of the good I've done will never be known.
mm,
I like it that way, right? Because of thanks to God and my belief system now, or my Christian faith, that the world doesn't need to know the good we do,
mm,
right? The left hand must not know what the right hand is doing, right? And when you give, do so in the secretly. That's
mm,
those are the principles from the Bible. But I think without the Bible, maybe my ego or my personality or my character would have wanted to take center stage
mm,
and be like other people I see on social media posting the good things that they do. So
mm.
sometimes when we let our ego and pride take center stage, the things we do lose meaning along the way.
Sure.
They lose meaning along the way, and then we become, or the motive changes from coming from our values to be celebrate me, or look what I've do, or look what I do, and stuff like that. So I think my that stage of my life taught me that same thing the Bible says, that who is my neighbor,
Mm,
right? That your neighbor is not your direct person next to you. Your neighbor is everyone that you meet. Everyone around you is your neighbor. So when the Bible says love yourself, love your neighbors as you love yourselves, it's speaking about the world in general. Because of looking at my childhood, when I trace it, the small things, the big things, I'm a product of someone loving their neighbor,
mm,
the neighbor being me in the scenario. There was a December that my brother, you know, where my brother is, when my brother used to go to for school and holidays, and my little brother went to my mom's distant cousin. They were not well
mm,
off, but they were okay, right?
mm,
And I was just alone with my parents that December. And my dad was back from jail at this point, but still things were bad, right?
mm,
And someone, my mom's distant political friend, her daughter came to visit for some weird reason, out of the blue. And out of talking, she saw the situation. I don't remember the whole conversation, but she said, "Can I buy your kids your kid Christmas clothes?" And literally out of the blue, she says, "Okay, let's go to the mall." On the spot, and she took me to the mall, and I think the one Choice Clothing was new then, brand new. We didn't know Choice Clothing. So she took me to Choice Clothing and she bought me Christmas clothes. And I Christmas clothes out of nowhere that specific summer, that specific December.
mm,
So these are all the small events of grace, of strangers, or neighbors, if you were, playing a role to shaping me and my values to the man I am today. In primary school, I was in grade six. I'll never forget this. My class teacher was Miss Jack. So Miss Jack noticed that my school shoes were torn in front, right? Because of we just had been winter and it's been raining. But then she noticed that I'm not buying new ones or I'm not repairing these ones. And I was made fun of every single day. So on lunchtime, she said, "Can I take you to Pep?" I'm like, "Okay." We got into a car and she drove to Pep. She says, "Okay, what's your shoe size?" She took my shoe size and she brought me school, just like that. So there are these events along that stage of my life of strangers just lending a hand so I can be decent. Because you know, as a person, that confidence starts from private things. If your
Mm,
underwear is okay, if your socks are okay, if your shoes are okay, when you walk into a room, you
mm,
have that private confidence already,
mm,
you know. But
mm.
when your underwear has holes, when your socks have holes, when your shoes are not okay, even if no one sees it, you already feel like you're on a negative. No matter
Mm,
where you go, it's like people know or can see it. Those things play a role in your confidence as a person,
yeah.
right? So I come from that kind of background that things were tough, but at some point God would send someone to play a small role. God would send someone to. So now my values and belief are: if I can play a small role into someone's life, right? Sort of like pay it forward kind of thing.
Yeah.
If I can play a small role in someone's life. Look at
Mm,
what we do in our business. We sponsor schools in the rurals with free Wi-Fi. Those
mm,
are not CSI initiatives for me. With all
mm,
due respect to everyone who does CSI initiatives, those
mm,
for me are things that come from personal beliefs, personal values. That thing stemmed from a school being our client for Wi-Fi, missing payments consecutively. Instead of being angry and canceling them because they're killing our finances, I set up a meeting with the school and find out why they're missing payments. Principal tells me the funding comes late, the grants come late from the government and stuff like that. We are suffering, we are going through this. They show me the condition of the school. And I'm like, whoa, in 2024, this is the condition of the school. He's like, yeah, this is our condition. We don't even have a single laptop. We don't even have a single printer. All of those things. Then now that becomes a conviction inside of me to say, how I grew up, if I'm in a position to help, I should be able to help. The
mm,
words like CSI come from a marketing manager that this is our CSI initiative. I'm like, oh, you're putting a label to it. But for me, it's not a label, it's a conviction. So
mm,
it stems from my personal values and beliefs of
mm,
the things I went through, that if I
mm,
can be in a position to help a person,
mm,
an organization, a group of people, if
mm,
God has put me in a position to help, then why not? And
yeah.
now you find that, now coming to the entrepreneurial part, you find out that most of the things you decide and things that you put off, like sort of like a policy or processes, 80% of them or 70% of them stem from your values and your beliefs.
Mm,
So we believe that if we look at CVs, if you have a position for a bookkeeper, I'm going to make an example.
mm,
Out of the 50 CVs we're going to look at, we take the ones with experience, put them aside. Take the ones with the qualification, no experience. So when we start our interviews, we start with the ones without experience because
mm,
we know that in corporate South Africa, those ones are going to be the first ones to be thrown in the dustbin or to
mm,
be looked or to be looked over, right?
mm,
Because of the preferential one, they call them the class A. Yeah, so there's class A, class B, class C. Class
mm,
A, qualification, experience. Class B, qualification, no experience. Class C, no qualification, no experience. So
mm.
the ones that are class A, we put them aside, we take first. Or preferential is the one
Class
with
B.
class C.
Mm,
Those are values that stem from my personal belief system, saying that I come from an environment of people who had qualifications, but then they never got an opportunity at life. So now they resort to working in retail and earning peanuts, and or sometimes not earning, sometimes being a volunteer at retail until a position opens up, while they do have the qualification. So those kind of people, you look at them and you feel like sometimes the goalpost keeps moving for them because the
mm,
goalpost was metric. They
mm,
acquired, they changed the goalpost now to a university degree or diploma or qualification, into a 4, into a 5, 6 qualification. They got that, but now the goalpost is now 5 years experience, 3 years experience. But then how are they meant to get the experience if no one? So that those kind of processes in our business, they stem from my personal beliefs and values that are shaped from where I come from.
wow. Man.
I hope that answers your question.
No, it certainly does. No, it certainly doesn't. It gives me a clearer picture into who Wonga is, the human being. and where you're coming from. But also some of these things that you're talking about are things that when you talk to someone, you can see those things, but you don't know the foundation of them. But when you hear the
Uh-huh.
story, you can now tell, oh, that is where the respect comes from. That is where the
So,
honor of the other person comes from.
it
This
comes
is
from.
where
Sure.
it comes from a place of this is how I grew up. This is what I value the most. And
Sure.
also I see that in your because we've seen each other in faith spaces where that also comes in. Okay,
Mhm.
so let's move on from there. We talk about your early life. You did township primary and high school. You finished in that place, or you had to move?
High school was Model C.
Okay.
High school was Model
Okay.
C. So I went to the same high school.
Graduated.
Yeah, so I went to the same high school my big brother went to.
Sure.
So he built a big reputation there. So getting there in there for me was very easy. So
Right.
as he did matric, I came in the following year.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So at least now you can understand Afrikaans. I speak it a bit though, so
Mm,
Afrikaans, but I do understand the majority of it. You can
yeah.
speak it fluently. You can be have confidence in English. I
Mm,
almost failed my grade 9 and my grade 8 because of I could never understand the lectures because of
mm,
the English too fast for me. you
mm,
know. So I took time to fully be grasped in the Model C schooling system,
mm,
the big school, the different periods, the this, the this, the this, the this. I think
mm,
I finally got settled in late grade 9 into grade 10. So
mm,
yeah, I did, and I continued to stay in PE. I only left PE 2018.
Okay. So you finished your matric in that school, and then um what I think I know that you said something around your results then didn't make you qualify to go straight to university. What was your
Yeah,
dream? What was your dream? Where, if everything had gone according to plan, what were you going to follow the engineering route now?
no, I wanted to be. So in high school, I became very smart in computers. It was too easy
Right.
for me. And it was
Ah,
around the time the subject CAT, Computer Applications Technology, was introduced. I was
right.
doing that thing with zero effort. I was
Oh,
acing it.
sure.
So it made sense then for me to want to do an IT course,
Right.
right? And I could not get into the university because of my points were low by 2 or 3. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So I resulted in going to a small college to do an IT course. So had
Right.
things gone that way, I think I would have done IT systems engineer, IT administrator, or maybe IT network engineer.
Right. Right.
Software developer. Software developer was the most
Yeah.
popular. Yeah, it was popular around that
It was
time.
hot then,
So
huh?
it was very hot then, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I would have gone that route. Maybe
Yeah.
land up in some big corporate.
Yeah. Okay,
So
so you then decided to do this IT course at the college. And at this point, is there any venture that you have started, or you are just straightforward
uh,
doing school?
I finished my matric when I was 17, right? And from 18, I'm still very young at this point.
Yeah.
Very, very young. But even in college, I was not pretty smart, but I was acing my tests
Of
and
course,
acing
very
my
well.
classes because of the STEM or the passion for computers and technology was beginning to sort of blossom.
Yeah.
Now I'm learning about IP addresses. Now I'm learning about default gateways, subnet masks. Now I'm learning about how to tear down a computer, build it up from scratch, set up a lab, and all of those things. So now the passion was growing, and it was
Hmm.
showing on the marks as well.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that was that period. There's the only adventure I did was literally just afterwards. So I was unemployed after I finished that course for 2 years. I finished that
Mhm.
course in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. So I was unemployed between 2013. I wasn't really unemployed though. When you make me go back, I was not really unemployed. There was this engineering company that my big brother was an intern or was doing apprenticeship there, one of the two. He had
Right.
just left it, but they were
Mm.
building a road somewhere in PE, and they
Mm.
called us to be traffic counters, right?
Okay.
So yeah, so traffic counters, they put you there from 6 until 8
You're
on
the
the.
one that's showing directions.
No, Mr. Odo, that's fancy. So what they
Really?
did, that's fancy for me. So what they did is they put you on at peak hours at the intersection that they were going to be working on, and you sit there with 4 pages, right? On the 4 pages, you have motorbike, hatchbacks, sedans, buses, trucks. Yeah, you have that. So you would write how many hatchbacks. And then after 8, they're gonna pick you up around 8:30 to go to the office. In the office, you do a count of everything, right? And then you submit your counts. At 12, you go back because from 12 to 2 is another peak hour. Then after 2, they take you back to your count. At 4, but 4 was 1 hour, not 1.5 hour. At 4, they take you there because 4 is peak hour as well. So you sit there and you count from 4 until 5:30, and then you submit those ones, and then they take us home. They don't take you, they put you at the taxi rank. And then, yeah, and they would pay us 160 a day, but twice, they only call us twice a week or once a week. So I did that. Now, you're getting paid 160 a day, né? 40 rand is bus fare.
But you can do it just for that 100
120.
rand, 120. It make the big difference.
Especially when we get called 3 times a week. Yo, I felt rich that week. Yo, I felt rich that week.
Like
That week
I'm
I was.
gonna have my 360, Baba.
So I think later 2015, no, not 2015. Yeah, 2013, 20. I'm not sure if I'm getting the timelines right. I saw an opportunity that most of the kids or most of the high school students who graduate to university, especially the ones from township and rurals, they don't have computer skills or have never seen a computer, never touched a computer. So most
Mm.
of them have failed their first year, and sometimes it results to NASFA's exclusion as well. So
Yo,
I started a business called Comp Unity. So
right.
COMP dash Unity. I started
Mm.
that business with 3 or 4 friends of mine, three friends
Mm.
of mine, all right? Because of we wanted to build like a lab,
Mm.
an isolated space, or maybe
Mm.
build it inside like a school and
Mm.
offer lessons at 70 rand per learner per month. Because of we all had the skill, we all knew how to use Microsoft and everything. So
Mm.
I started that. It didn't materialize. I
Mm.
think I was heartbroken because I literally saw the market. I had the vision, but I never knew the cost of starting with people. Sometimes,
Mm.
I think that's also one of the things that made me start Wonga Technologies alone, the
Yeah.
cost of working with people. And sometimes when you have the vision, you understand that vision or success means urgency sometimes. And
Mm.
that doesn't register with everyone,
Sure.
unfortunately, right?
Sure.
But I'm glad it happened. It gave me lessons for the future. So I started
Right.
that business, and we got the paperwork right, got the administration was right at some point, but we could not bring it to life for some weird reason.
And so, after this, what then happens? Is that when the move to Cape Town from?
Oh no, Mr. The movie curtain was far away. I got a job at my college when I did IT. I was a part-time lecturer.
All right,
So I
right.
was standing in for someone, if I'm not mistaken, for about 6 months. So his friend, who also runs a college, he had an opening for an end user lecturer. So he calls me that I've heard about you. I would like you to come in. That time I'm unemployed. That was May 2015. May 2015, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Says, I've heard about you. I would like you to come and work for me. So I go there and we start. This guy, I think that was one of the first people that showed me my capabilities because of the way he trusted me with everything. So he's like, this
Mm,
is the curriculum. These are the classes that we have. I can't do this alone anymore. I need someone. So run everything as you see fit. Here's your
mm,
office. Here's your classroom.
mm.
Literally just like that. This class is this far, this class is this far, this class is this far. So you can pick up from there. He was paying me 2,500 a month. But I was rich that time. No,
I
I was
know
living
it
at
now.
home.
I
I was
listen,
rich.
listen. It was proper.
It was proper. I gave my all there. I honestly gave my all. Even on the graduation day, he gave me a time to say to speak, to have a speech prepared. So
Mm,
he's the first person who truly trusted me and showed faith in my abilities.
mm,
Then Telkom comes knocking on the around October, same year.
mm,
So Telkom comes knocking, they're opening a call center in PE. They need people with IT. I'm like, oh, okay. A friend of mine recommends me. I go to the interview. I nail the interview. They take me. So I
mm.
leave that. I leave that.
End user teaching job.
Yeah. So I leave that user end user thing for Telkom because Telkom was offering us 5,000 rand. So I'm like,
Right.
the Lord is
Double,
good.
Baba, double.
The Lord is good. See what the Lord has done.
Yes, okay.
Where are my enemies? So Jacob was offering 5K and I left that job. I started Telkom. So Telkom introduces me now to internet. So I have the end user knowledge, I have the IT knowledge. Now Telkom said, no, there's internet. So there's routing, there's IP addresses, there's ADSL. There was no fiber then. There's ADSL, there's internet and emails and all of these things. So we go to an intense training for 2 months at Telkom headquarters in Woma, PE. We go through an intense 2 months training, an intense one. And then finally we go now to the actual job in December. I enjoyed that. Don't want to lie to you. I enjoyed that. As much as the experience and the training were two different things, but I honestly enjoyed that. I think that's when I got introduced to corporate. How does it work? Working with the telecom call center was about 800 people or 700 at most, different
Mm,
departments.
mm,
So you go from having your own office, the staff is 3 or 4 people at max, to now 800 people, and here you're just a number. You're literally
mm,
just a number. But we all start from the bottom when we all have to make our way up, right?
mm,
So I think that's when corporate began to be brutal to me,
mm,
because you learn that the quickest way up sometimes is not hard work and dedication. It's about who you know or who likes you. And I was not big on someone liking me or trying to get people to like me, upper people to notice me. I honestly believe that hard work and passion and not being absent are things that will get you there.
mm,
And that a lot of the hard lesson that's not always the case.
mm,
Not always the case. Because of
mm,
that period, people who came after me were promoted. People I trained were promoted. People I mentored were promoted. Some of them became my direct managers.
wow.
And that's a bitter pill to swallow to watch
Mm,
someone who trained who came in 6 months after you. Everything they literally know is because of you.
mm,
Become your manager that you report to.
mm,
And there are lots of similar scenarios and similar lessons like that. So I think corporate gave me a punch in the face. I think that's the
mm,
best way to explain it. A punch in the
mm,
face that you
mm,
were not expecting,
mm,
to a point that they finally promoted me, I think around 2017.
mm,
And then that's when I met my girlfriend, who was now my wife.
mm,
And so I gave it this big plan that I'm now acting manager. I'm going to be permanent next year, February. 6 months after that, I want to pay the ball. I want to marry, all of those things. So I have a plan. And this lady is crazy enough to believe in me. Like, okay, sure, start dating. You know, when you are promised a bread in the sky, or a pie in the sky, yes, that's the term, a pie in the sky, I was the first one to come in, last one to leave. Any escalation, not even if it's not my department, I would take it. I would find out who's responsible, get back to the client, to a point that the CEO escalations, sometimes I would handle them. The CEO of Telkom that then was Sipho Maseko in Joburg, his escalation, sometimes I would, because they knew who was technically excellent and they knew who was customer care excellent. Wonga, go to Wonga, right? And I enjoyed that so much. And then came the year, because I think the financial year end was February for Telkom. So like, okay, we can't make you permanent. There was no budget for your position. So next year we're gonna make you permanent on February. So a friend of mine moves to Cape Town. One of my close friends that time moves to Cape Town and he works for Web Africa. And he says to me, Web Africa is looking for new people, bro. The guys here, we know more than them. The guys at tier 2 who are higher than me, I know more than them. So you definitely gonna know more than them. Come to Cape Town. I'm like, nah, bro. Telkom said they're gonna make me manager. So you want me to go and be an agent and start from zero? Nah, I'm not coming. I'm not coming. So Web Africa calls me, hey, we got your number from Zola. Do you want to come? We have this opportunity offering you 10K. I'm like, nah, I'm not coming. No thanks. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm not coming. So come February, Telkom says, calls me to a meeting. I think there were 3 acting managers called us into a meeting and says, hey guys, thanks for holding the fort for the past 9 months, right? We appreciate it. We recognize you, we say you. However, um, in Durban, we have 5 idling managers, and we want to bring them to PE. They're from a different campaign, they don't know anything about technical. We would like you to train them. I'm like, okay, what's going to happen afterwards? No, you go back to being technical consultant. I'm like, no ways. Like, unfortunately, this is the way it is. We can bump up your salary by 500 or whatever, but we can't give you the position. I think that was one of the most heartbreaking things for me at that age. That thing broke me. That thing because of I planned my life around this promotion happening. So everything for 2018 that I planned was centered around this promotion. So when the Bible says that lean not in your own understanding, it's not incorrect, my man. When you have to lean on Jesus, because of sometimes we make all of these pies in the sky sort of like semi or demigods in our lives, right? And we don't lean on God. So sometimes He has to take them away for you to realize that you can't cling on this. These people are gonna betray you and all of that. So that happens, and I was very down. I think for about a week, I was very, very down. And I think one thing I like about myself, I give myself time to grieve to a certain point. So whatever is going through what's happening, I'm gonna allow myself to feel it for a day or 2 or hours. Now it's hours because of I'm very busy. So that's maybe an hour or 2 hours. And afterwards, I'm gonna hesitate to say, okay, what's the plan? What am I gonna do? So even then, after some time, I spoke to my girlfriend about it, and she was like, call Cape Town. Call Cape Town. These people will never see you, they will never recognize you, call Cape Town. I'm like, what about you? I said, I'll be okay. Call Cape Town. So I called the company in Cape Town. They're like, oh, yeah, we're still interested, but our offer hasn't changed. Though. It's still the same amount of money. I'm like, it's okay, I'll take it. Fine, I'll take it. Like, oh, okay, you can come through. So yeah, to 2018 April, that's how I made my jump from PE to Cape Town. I only had one person I knew. I didn't know anyone. I lived in Delft in Cape Town when I arrived. Delft, one of the most dangerous places in Cape Town. I was scared. I was lonely because my friend literally left the day I arrived. He had a trip, and a family trip. He left for 3 days, and he left me there alone. And I had to figure things out myself, going to work, going everywhere. I had to figure it all out all by myself. So that's how the move to Cape Town came about. It wasn't glamorous. Oh, anything or a blend or this stuff like that. So yeah, that's how the move to Cape Town came about.
Jeez. So it sounds like there's a lot of lessons that came out of, first of all, telecom, the
Mhm.
experience that came out of there, that kind of,
Mhm.
there are sparks that are showing that you are passionate about IT, you like doing these things, you've serviced even the CEO and whatever, and all is going there. So now when you move to Web Africa, what happens? What you spent like 4 years there?
Yeah, I spent quite a time, no, 2 years at Dubai. I didn't stay
Okay,
long.
sure.
Also, that's when the business started.
Oh, because
So
then so you're at Web Africa, then you're doing your thing, and then you
I
like
start Wonga
tell us how
Technologies.
that story
Yeah,
started.
so I get to Web Africa, right? I get to Web Africa 2018 around April, trying to figure out this Cape Town thing, this traffic thing, this traveling thing, trying to get a place on my own. Asking, I find a church, then I make some friends at church, and then they drive me around to see places that where I can live for myself. I think we're going to Khayelitsha looking for flats, found a flat. Following month, I moved to my own flat. You know, when you have a bed and a curtain and a two burner stove, an iron and a kettle. Then you have two pots, you have two bowls, you have two spoons, you have two mugs. That was my life. That was my life, right? And yeah, that was my life, and for a long time. So I did that. I get to Web Africa. Web Africa is a small, intimate company, beautiful people, amazing characters, funny characters. So it's different cultures, right? You have Muslim, you have colored, you have Indian, you have white, you have colored, you have black, you have Tswana, you have all of these different cultures at Web Africa. And at Telkom, it was mostly black dominated. The only whites were senior management. So you get the Web Africa like, oh, okay, okay. Then you learn about different people, different cultures. That's when I saw that the Muslim culture is big in Cape Town, because where I come from, it's not as big. And then you learn about all of these different cultures and different foods, Gatsby's, all of these things, right? So Web Africa then, obviously, you put me in a position where I love what I'm doing. I'm gonna start shining at some point, right? Because by this time I can articulate myself. I can, you said yourself, I can deal with CEO escalation. So all the small tasks, I'm knocking them out of the park. I was not happy with my salary though, because of remember, I made a promise that I'm gonna lobola you in 6 months. So I asked them that to get promoted here, what can I do? Like, oh, these are the metrics. But you have to know people get promoted here within 3 years or 2 years. So my target was meeting those metrics every quarter. I met those metrics in 9 months consecutively. I was the first person to be promoted within 9 months, literally 9 months in Web Africa. So now Wonga Technologies comes in the picture of this guy. I just started gymming then, Virgin Active, because Web Africa gave us nice perks. Kudos to them. One of the nicest companies you can work for then, because of they paid your full medical aid, Coastal Saver, one of the top of the range in medical aid. And now I had Vitality as well. They're paying for Vitality as well. And I started gymming at Virgin Active. So I feel like I'm not made it, but I'm almost there. You know, I gym at Virgin Active for sure. I work at one of the biggest ISPs in the country. I have medical aid and all of those. I'm living alone. I'm okay. I'm okay, but I'm lonely though. I'm lonely. I was very lonely in Cape Town. So Web Africa then comes in, and then Wonga Technologies comes in 2 months after being Web Africa. So what happens is that I pick up that most of the calls, some of the calls that we get are new clients that have just signed up. So the new clients are not happy that the router doesn't reach their whole house. So they want the router to reach the cottage at the back or the upstairs or the downstairs or whatever that they have, or their flats outside or cottages outside. So they were never happy about the router Wi-Fi coverage. So I escalate this that I'm not sure if you noticed, my manager then was Mariska, a nice lady, very, very nice colored lady. So I said, I'm not sure if you noticed, but most of the calls we get from new customers, they're complaining about this thing. Like, oh yeah, we send them to Google, but they must buy Wi-Fi centers from Macro, Take a Lot, or they must Google a Wi-Fi contract. I'm now, okay, I'm not happy about that. Though. It's like, yeah, that's what we do. Like, so no one does that. No, 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 we don't do that. We just sell Wi-Fi. I'm like, oh, okay. But then this thing bothers me because of the volumes that are coming in. They are significant. So I'm asking her that if I start a business to service this, will it be okay? I was like, let me speak to HR. Speak to HR. HR says, no, we don't see an issue. That's how I started my business then. My business
Mm,
to service those clients that are not happy about their Wi-Fi coverage. Right?
mm.
So literally when she says HR says it's okay, I go to my friends around. So this time I recommended my own people because of my values. Someone pulled me in. Obviously, I'm gonna pull my own people in from Telcom. That hey, come this side, come this side, come this side, come this side. So I think in total, I recommended about 9 people. 9 people changed locations from PE to Cape Town that time, right? Because I believe that if I enter a room, I'm gonna hold the door for someone else to enter as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Are they coming to
I
join Web Africa or they are coming to join Wonga?
come to join Web Africa. One of
Mhm.
the ladies is still there today, and she says that she bought a house 2 years ago. Like, I can't thank you enough. That
Wow.
changed. Now I have a house. She has a car now as well. Like, I'm still at Web Africa. I'm still earning gold. And if you had not done that for me, I don't think my life would be where it is. But those are things I don't pay attention to. Honestly speaking, guys don't know how to receive compliments. You don't know. I don't pay attention to those things. I don't, honestly speaking. So I tell my friends that if you get this type of call, tell them a contractor is going to call them, a company is going to call them. So I get my first referral that, hey, this is Mr. Swart from this BNB in Blowback. He wants this. Now, okay, tell him someone's going to call him around 1 o'clock. So 1 o'clock, my lunchtime, I hit up Mr. Swart. Hi, Mr. Swart, is speaking to Wonga from Wonga Technologies. We got your query from Web Africa saying this is like, yeah, man, I've got guests from overseas in Germany. They're not happy about the Wi-Fi range. It doesn't reach their cottages. They must come to the lounge area to access Wi-Fi, and they're giving me bad reviews. Can you fix this? I'm like, yeah, sure, I can fix it. It's like, oh, okay. Can you come now? I'm like, I can't come now. I'm busy with another client. Can I come after 4? Like, sure, you can come after 4. I'm like, okay, I know off at 4. And like, okay, send me the address. I'll find my way there. Fine. Mr. Swart sends me the address, and then I Uber. So I Uber from Woodstock to Blowback. Now, 4 p.m. is peak traffic. So the Uber was around 200 Rand. I'm like, where is this flipping Blowback? Why is Uber 200? Yes, because it's middle of the month, and middle of the month, we don't have money middle of the month. So I'm like, it's fine, I'll figure it out. So I pay my Uber, we go to Blowback. I have my gym bag, my very active gym bag. I have my work bag. So I look like a mess. I don't even have a car, right? I'm going to this client. Before we get to Blowback, I'm like, flip, I've never been on site. I've always done the Wi-Fi router setup, troubleshooting on the other side of the phone. I've never actually done this face to face. I don't even know what kind of Wi-Fi boosters he has. But because of resilience and that thing of I'll figure it out, I'll make it work, I had in me. I was like, we'll see it there. Because at this point, I'm confident in my technical skills and my technical ability. So I get there, that's what says, okay, sure. I put my bags down. He shows me the extenders, T-pinning extenders. He showed me the cottages. I think he had bought 4 of them from Take a Lot. They can't work together. They can't simultaneously work together. I'm like, oh, okay, sure, no problem. I said, can you leave me with this? He leaves me alone. Now I'm have to YouTube this and see and check the box to the IP address and all this. I literally figure it out on the spot. Once the first one is working, the rest were easy. So The cottages were closer to the swimming pool, or one of them was closer to the swimming pool. So the last booster worked so well that even the swimming pool area now has coverage. And I know, I think the best thing I did was to make sure that the Wi-Fi name is the same, right? I just repeat the Wi-Fi name because some people have this mistake of when they instead of repeater, it's going to be Uno Wi-Fi extender. Then at home with Uno Wi-Fi. But now that causes a signal sort of glitch when the customer moves from this area to this area. Because of iPhones, and these are things I learned on site. iPhones normally hang on the last Wi-Fi connection, even if it's one bar, without connecting to the new one automatically. So the old one must slowly disappear from range before they go into this one. So now it affects them making calls on WhatsApp and stuff like that. So
Mm.
I make sure that it's the same Wi-Fi name, all of them, so that the connection is smooth everywhere. They don't have to jump from this network to the next. That guy was so happy he hugged me. He's like, I didn't even expect the Wi-Fi to range to reach the swimming pool area. These guys are gonna be happy. And then he said something to me that locked me. He says, how much do you charge? I was like, flip. I didn't even think about this. Do you know when someone can tell that you don't know how much you literally use on the spot. Ah, I said, no, I charge 450.
Mm.
Because remember, I don't have business mentor.
Looking
This
at
is my first time.
Uber, you're just like,
I'm looking
listen,
at Uber and I'm okay. I'm okay.
if I make my Uber money, I'm fine.
I'm okay. I'm fine. Because of I'm happy and excited that this worked, and I'm happy that he's happy. So I don't
Mm.
care much about anything else at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, can you send me an invoice with your bank account? I don't even have a bank account. He's like, okay, no, it's fine. I'll pay you cash. He takes out the 450, pays me cash. Uber to Kylie is 220. I'm like, what the flip? What the flip? And I'm thinking it was cheaper because traffic had sort of like dissipated at this point. Because traffic normally after 6:30 it becomes better. So I think it was around before 7 p.m. when I got done. It's like, oh, then I Uber back to Kylie. But I was so happy though. I think the fulfillment and the feeling I had that time is something I've never experienced in my life. The fire I had that time, nothing could stop me, or nothing could get in my way that time.
Yeah.
I got home and I opened a I opened a Facebook page. So I asked for him to take a picture, which is the best thing I did because that picture is still on my LinkedIn even today. From 2018 June, that picture is still there. So I asked him, can you take a picture? Go on LinkedIn and post this picture. Entrepreneurship, we see on this, I'm doing this. When you think you have it all figured out. I go on Facebook, open a Facebook page, I post a picture. I don't have branding, I don't have anything. I'm literally wearing a jersey. I do all of this, and that's how Wonga Technologies began. So the volumes I was getting that time were so good that my life every day was after work, I'm Ubering to somewhere. I'm Ubering to Constantia. I've never been to Constantia. Like people live in such houses. I'm Ubering to Durbanville, I'm Ubering to Edgemont, Sea Point. I got to know Cape Town quickly because of my business. Because
Wow.
I even went to Hot Bay at some point. I'm like, why are we going after Hot Bay? I go to Noordhoek. I'm like, why are we paying toll gate fees to go to Noordhoek? Oh, it's this far. All I traveled Cape Town a lot because of my business. And that's when it gained momentum, gained momentum, gained momentum. But I still was running it as a side hustle.
Mm. Mm.
So the issue to leave or the time to leave Web Africa comes during COVID. Because
Mm.
COVID happens, we're not getting clients,
Mm.
right? As I'm not getting clients, I'm not happy. Business slows down. I'm using the money for personal things. The money is depleting. The money is depleting.
You mean no, you're not getting business on the Web Africa side or on the
There are referrals coming
Wonga?
in, but clients are saying, let's wait for the restrictions to die down. Because remember,
Mm.
there was stage this, stage this, stage this, stage
Yeah.
this.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
which place was not making clients? Your workplace or the or Wonga?
Business.
Oh, okay.
Wong, yeah. So Wong was not making any profit. No, the workplace was making money because people wanted Wi-Fi to they to work from
Mm,
home.
mm, mm, mm,
So I was kind of getting depressed. Uh, and by that time, my entrepreneurial drive or force has been established to a point I no longer enjoy work. Work
mm,
feels like slavery at this point.
mm,
It takes me 10 times the effort for me to come to work.
mm,
And by this time, I told you I was promoted. I'm earning above my peers. I'm
mm,
okay in terms of finances. I'm earning well. I'm okay. And I just got married the previous year. I got married in
mm,
2019. Um, and I'm okay, right? But I'm not fulfilled. I'm not happy. I hate coming here. Uh,
mm,
and working from home that time was not enjoying it. And the politics had just creeped in at this point. There were too many boundaries. There were too many politics at work. So
mm,
sometimes if you don't make the jump, God is going to push you out of the place for you to
mm,
jump.
mm,
I heard this somewhere that when the eaglet faces the time where it has to jump and is refusing to jump, the mother that builds the nest, right, takes the sticks to face inside the nest.
mm.
That when it tries to rest, it gets stung by the
Sure,
sticks,
sure.
right? So it can force itself, so it can force to fly.
Mm.
It can't be comfortable anymore. So I
Is that
think
literally what happened to you?
what happened, they had issues with my business as well. I was being investigated. They thought I'm promoting my business on calls. Literally, they thought I was my business on calls. There was another company that was started by three colored guys, and they were intimidated by me. They were speaking to HR, investigate this guy. How is he getting his clients? He's promoting himself. They were lies fabricating my name. I was defending myself a whole lot more. I was attending hearings, I was attending meetings, and all of those things they were happening that time. So I was not happy. I was not happy. I felt like
So it was time to take the leap.
it was time to take the leap, but then I didn't want to take the leap. I didn't because of you. You're a young couple. We just got married. You have dads. We just got in a car as well. All of those things. So you can't just now want to take 16,000 rand off the table, right? For
Right.
something that has not gotten clients for the past 6 months or 4 months, not even one client, right? I'm like, oh, this is dragging. But people were coming to me, my community were coming to me that, hi Wonga, as you know, I work for Discovery. So they're asking me if I can work from home, but they need me to have Wi-Fi or fiber. What can you recommend for me? So I was sending them to Web Africa, I was sending them to all of these ISPs, but they were getting bad service. But then they were coming to me to complain. And I remember sitting down with my wife and saying, I think I want to sell this
Mm,
because of I'm turning all of these people away, rightly so, but then they're getting bad service.
mm,
I'm scared though, because of if I have to sell this, I'm a competitor to Web Africa. It means I will have to lose my job.
mm.
It's okay, we'll figure it out. So I think had
Wifey says that.
wifey says that. So I think had she not said that, I would have never made that move or
Mm,
that pivot.
mm,
She says, it's okay, we'll figure it out. So I start selling this thing. Web Africa literally finds out a week later that I'm selling this thing before I
mm,
hand in my resignation. Like, okay, do you want to resign or should we fire you? I'm like, it's okay, I resign. Thanks for the time, thanks for everything. I'm okay. I enjoyed my time here. Like,
mm,
okay, sure, they let me go. So 2020. October onwards is me trying to figure out this ISP thing. I got the pricing wrong. I got the processes wrong. Terms and conditions are wrong. Customers don't pay. All I'm doing favors for clients. I allow things and all. I use business money for personal things. All of that from 2020 or 2021 June is me just failing, just constantly failing, constantly learning, constantly getting up all the time, all hiring
Trying to figure it
friends.
out.
And then figure out I hired friends that went wrong and all of those things. Um, I remember 2020 December, no, 2021 December. I said to my wife, this business is wrong. Everything is wrong. I put structures in place without having customers or enough volume of customers. And now I'm paying for structures, but then there's no profit. I'm operating at a loss.
Mhm.
So I think I want to fire everyone and start from scratch. I retrenched everyone from December 2021. No, I retrenched them from October. I was the only person left in the business. I was so depressed for me. Oh no, I was depressed. It's difficult to let people go when you know their families and the conditions they come
Right.
from.
Mm.
And I was so honestly depressed and I didn't know what to do. I think I listened to Fusi Tembekwayo who was speaking about sales. Sales. I'm like, oh, how about instead I hire salespeople? And then I'm gonna be the structure. I'll do the accounting, I'll do the support, I'll do the other things. How about I just hire salespeople? So 2021, I only hire salespeople basically. So that's when we then started off sort of like picking up again. So I'm like, okay, Wi-Fi, we have a national coverage because of our partnerships with fiber providers and all of those things. So let me hire a salesperson from Joburg. Let me hire a salesperson from Durban. Let me hire a salesperson. And then that's how we started having international, national footprint and national customers with customers in Venda, Limbombo, KZN, all of those things. Because of I had salespeople then, and I paid them on commission. I don't have any money to pay them. Then okay, we'll pay you I'll pay you the commission, just bring me clients. And then I would spend 4 hours every week on product training. Because these people are not technical, they don't know fiber. They're just people who want to make an extra income on the side. Right? And I would every day, I think every day we'd have trainings from 7 to 8, every single day.
In the
Because
evening.
they've got they're fully employed somewhere else. Right. And I'm still This time I started working for a fiber company in Cape Town as well because I wanted money for posters. I wanted money for this. I wanted money for things because of I never fully realized how expensive it is to run an ISP. It is a fully blown out expense. With customers, without customers, it is expensive to run this thing. So I was working for a fiber company there as well. Even there, they took me as a call center agent. 3 months I was promoted. Like, no, you can't be call center. No. Go to the IT team. No, you can't be call center. So also, I got promoted there within 3 months as well. And one of the best companies I've ever worked for as well. One of the best companies I've ever worked for as well. Chilled environment, cool people, and I think I learned more about Web Africa gave me the structure for ISP. They gave me the structure for fiber and the processes around putting fiber in an area, in a building, and all of those things. So I learned a lot about fiber. That's why now we're in a space where we're putting fiber into areas. But I'm going to speak about that later on. So, um, so 2021 to 2022 January. Now I've trained them. Now they can start selling. Now we're redefining the terms and conditions because terms and conditions you steal some from Web Africa, you steal some from here, and then you steal some from the experiences and stuff like that. So now I've sort of like got the hang of things and the ship looks steady, right? Now it looks like we are sailing a bit because of you have customers from KZN, you have customers from East London, you have customers from PE, you have customers from Joburg. And one thing I was confident in, I'm gonna blow every customer out of the water when it comes to customer service. I'm unparalleled in customer service because of I come from telecom, I come from Web Africa, and all of those things have been customer facing. And I've been on site for 2, 3 years by now. So on face-to-face encounter with a customer, I'm not afraid of it. Angry customer face-to-face, I'm not afraid. I've messed up face-to-face with a customer in a house in Constantia. We literally had a face-to-face encounter. He was so angry, and I had to escalate someone who is angry straight me face-to-face, English speaking from Durban. So there's no way I can't de-escalate someone over the phone because I've de-escalated over the phone as well at Telecom and Web Africa. So that is one thing I was confident in. So sales team, bring them in. When the Wi-Fi is done, whatever is done, don't worry, I'm gonna be the support. So I did that for quite a while, and then I got lost at corporate though because of I wanted I was senior by this time. So I got lost at I want to have a future here. That's when God kicked me out to remind me that no, my brother, you can't have a future here. Not you, not you. You can't have a future here. So I left that corporate, I think 2023 or 2024. Obviously, God called me out of it. Literally, I think when I
So at this
left,
time, what is happening? Are you still Wonga is still going on?
Wonga has never stopped going on at all this point. So I'm living a double life kind of thing because of I'm at work maybe from 7 till 4. At 4, I have to leave, go fix a customer's issue, go replace a SIM card, go replace a router, go do this, go do this. So every single day, I'm heading off somewhere. So my wife had gotten accustomed to the life that we're gonna get home at 9 p.m. or 8:30. Right? This is our life. This is this guy's life. This guy is literally going to fish hook after work. We're going to be stuck in traffic on M3 until we branch off the Hout Bay Road. And then traffic will be a bit better. This guy is going to fix someone's router at 6:30 in the evening until 7 p.m. Customers going to be happy. We come back home, we have to drive all the way back. I think we're living in Montana by then. So it was a bit better, not long in Khayelitsha. This is this guy's life. Right. So that's happening. So sometimes I'm processing refunds, I'm processing payments, customers are paying in while I'm at work. Lunchtime, I'm not enjoying lunchtime. I'm on my phone speaking to my team. They're asking me questions. Party means boss, specifically in English. Party, I have this customer, he's got 3 smart TVs, all of these things, he's querying this. Is this package gonna be okay for him? Or I'm dealing with all of these queries while I'm at work or during my lunchtime or after work. So that is my life basically for that 3 years or 4 years. 5 a.m. I'm at the gym. At 7 a.m. or 7:30, I'm at work. At work, I'm juggling this. But I never ever allowed them. I had this belief that my work must never be affected by my business.
Yeah.
So that's why I went from call center agent, support technician, um, middle or tier 2 support technician, senior support technician in a space of 2 years at the fiber company. Because I never ever allowed I believed I have to work twice as hard so that even if they pick up my business, they know that it never interfered with my work. So I
Yeah.
worked twice as hard each and every time. So that's what was happening. And then I lost that job, I think April 2024. Yeah, because I was getting comfortable. I was living soft. I even drive an SUV now. I live in CBD. I'm okay. I'm okay. But God reminds you, there's something that God said to me around that period that other people's dreams are tied to your dream. So if you
Mm.
forsake your dream, what
Mm.
about them?
Mm.
and I lost my job then in that period. Because I wanted to save for 6 months so my family can be safe. But God doesn't wait for us to save. Sometimes you delaying to jump, you delaying to make the move, you are delaying other people who are praying for an opportunity in life, who are praying for a job in life. But then in our own selfish reasons, we always think about us.
mm,
But
mm,
this life thing, Mr. Un, is never about us. It's never about us, right? Um, so I make that jump. I lose that job before I can save money. I lose that job before I can have sort of like a safety net I wanted. But then if you have a safety net, you will trust the safety net and not the person that called you to the marketplace,
mm,
right? And I remember I was depressed for 3 days. So in my old apartment or in my old house, I had a note board. So these sticky notes, I would hang them all over my thinking on the board. So I had about almost 60 of them or 70 of them. So I would write down how I'm feeling, or something good happened, something bad happened. I would write literally everything. There's a note there that says, and it's dated, I think, 26 April. You've been depressed for 3 days. What are you going to do now? I told you that I allow myself to feel something, but until to a certain point. I wrote that down and put it there. So my desk was facing the note thingy. So every time I come to my desk, I would see these notes I write down. And then I saw that one, that you can't be depressed forever. The show must go on. Literally, that time we had a partnership with one of the major gospel stars in South Africa. They agreed to be our ambassador out of a whim, out of nowhere. The day, the 1st of May, he posted our business on social media. We blew up just like that. We got so much volumes. I had to hire people instantly.
mm.
There are 3 guys who work for me. They'll tell you that how we got hired, we never submitted CV. This guy just called us and said, "Are you busy?" And I said, "No." And then that's how I got hired. Because I had so much traffic and volume of people wanting Wi-Fi. I had to hire extra help because you know me and customer service. Because I didn't want to compromise the level of service. Because of I come from a background that black companies poor service, Christian companies are poor service, all of those things. So I felt like I don't have a room to make an error.
Mm,
So I hired people instantly, and then that's when we started growing and hitting some good thresholds in terms of customer base, in terms of turnover, and all of those things. And then that's when we started onboarding businesses as well. I think we started, but we started business onboarding businesses last year. It was always fiber to the home, LTE to the home. We started doing businesses last year as well. So the model that we've modified it, it has grown since then. So that's when that happened, that sometimes when we let go of what we hold so dear and what we deem to be the solution, to be the source in our lives, God sometimes, if you let that go, he'll show you that I have something better for you, but then I can't show you that until you let this go. Because of the process of letting go and grasping this one, then that middle space there is trust and faith.
mm.
So you have to let go and not see so that you can get this one. But then we want to see first before we let go of this one.
We don't want to just go
No,
before we see.
oh, no, no, no.
Hmm, hmm. And then, so you are on this path now with this business.
So,
Where does Trigger Ventures come into play? How does and are there any other programs that you've been a part of that have kind of shaped how you
yeah,
do this?
yeah. Trigger is a big part of me. Honestly speaking, Trigger is a big part of me. So Trigger comes in around last year, January. I'm at the gym in Waterfront, Planet Fitness in Waterfront. I met the gym there, and I meet one of these. top accountants in one of these top firms. So for somehow we just become friends, right? He goes to a white church, right? So he tells me that I know you've been trying to raise funds, all of those things. Check Trigger out. I'm like, what's Trigger? Like, no, something I saw about the business accelerator, but it's for Christian entrepreneurs, what. Okay, I'm gonna apply this thing. And the application is a long and daunting process, right? I finally finished the application. These guys sent me an email that we want to have an interview with you. I think around February or early March. No, early March. These guys called even my pastor to verify. That's when I saw it's a Christian venture. Their references had to be from church. Your pastor must be a reference.
Hmm.
So they call my pastor to verify, is this guy active in church? Is his attendance okay? Tithing and all that. What kind of business accelerator is this? It's like an application to get to go to heaven or something, right? So Trigger comes in, then they send me an email. They say they reject my application, right? Like, oh, we interview, we're rejecting application because of one, the minimal turnover must be 800,000 for a company. Yours is 700,000, and they see this other application, and they list other things as well. You know, when like one thing about me, I don't like rejection. I can't take it well, right? So I'm like, it's better. So I let it go. But something says to me, reply to the email, reply to the email, reply to the email. Following day, I pick up my thing, I reply. Hi guys, thanks for the opportunity. Honestly grateful that you've considered my application. Cheers, blessings. These guys come back to me just before my birthday. We have a spot for you. You have been taken. Like no ways, no ways. Like yeah. So the accelerator fee is about 40K. It's about 40K. I'm like, I don't have 40K. Like, okay, we can do it in installments. Okay, I can do installments, no problem. Sure. So we do it in installments, and then they're like, we're gonna have two gatherings. The third gathering is gonna be the Trigger conference. Okay. First gathering is gonna be in Stellenbosch, no, Franschhoek or Stellenbosch. Second one is gonna be in Joburg. The first one is in May. Second one is gonna be in Joburg. You are in charge of your own flights, but everything else will take care of it. Okay, sure, no problem. I get there, it's about 20, 21 ventures, all different ventures, everyone doing a different thing. That's when I saw that we have some brilliant minds in South Africa. We are gifted with some of the most brilliant minds. Sometimes people just need an opportunity to showcase what they can do. And all of these ventures and CEOs and directors and founders I'm sitting with, they're Christian as well, right? So Trigger taught me that my business must be redemptive. So Trigger, you know that my business, our values are Christian, right? But Trigger taught me that I'm not alone in that thinking. In fact, your entire business model has to have a redemptive purpose, right? Your entire business model must cover the shame of the world at some pedigree, right? And that God must be the center of your business. And that you do not have to conform to the patterns of this world to be successful. You do not have to conform to the patterns of this world to make it in life, in business. You need to keep God at the center of this thing. So the first 2 days is just those teachings about that. It's just class after class after class, and they give you time to go meditate about what you just learned. And you need to come back and say, what did God say to you? That's one thing I saw or loved about white people. When they go pray, they come back with answers.
You're very
So
funny. My
you don't say,
goodness.
I prayed. No, come back and tell us what is God or
Uh,
Spirit saying to you about.
Hi, Wonga. Ah,
So,
okay, okay. Mhm.
so Tika comes in there and they teach you about the rest as well. But finding rest in God because of the entrepreneurship mindset or doctrine is that hustle, 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 hustle. Work-life balance doesn't exist, all of those things. But then Trigger comes in and says, you serve a God who's a jealous God. You can't make your business your idol. You can't make your business your God. You have to be intentional about setting times and with God. Because you don't find it, you don't have it. So you have to intentionally set time. So Trigger then comes in and centers me and reminds me of what's important. Then the second 2 days of the gathering or the trip or the getaway is they have Trigger mentors. So Trigger mentors are business owners, founders who have made it in life. Like these are guys with 100 million portfolios, right? And they are Christian as well, right? So now they come and say that what you're trying to do, we've done it. Yeah, we're not crazy when we say put God first. We're trying to, or so they kind of mentor you, and then there's what you call it's not a brainwash, it's a brain something, right? Not brainstorm, but it's a brain something session. Brain thingy session is where you sit, it's about 4 mentors. So normally over the 2 days, it'll be about 25 mentors. Guys you've never heard of, guys who own 400 Mr. Price shops in South Africa, guys who own the system. And you're like, I didn't know someone who owns this is Christian. You sit with founders of serious big JSE listed companies, and they are sitting here with you, spending the day with you. So on the brain thingy session, basically, one of us as the ventures who are here will paint three of their problems or bring three of their business problems. Then four of the ventures, four of the mentors will sit around and we try and help him for an hour or brainstorm answers for an hour. Right. And then you get real life help from people who have done it, from your peers as well, who see it from a different angle than you do. Because when you run a business, you have blinders on, you don't see anything else. Right. So that's one of the most brilliant exercises I've ever seen in the business world. Because sometimes when you run a business, your problem is a mountain. And then you sit with someone who says, no, this is not the mountain. The real mountain is the one behind it. And you are not seeing it. I'm like, flip. Flip. Right. And so Trigger really, really I would say, diverted my path and also strengthened my values around my business, and to be confident as well that I'm unapologetic about being a Christian business entrepreneur. You went to my LinkedIn, you saw my LinkedIn, the first thing it says Genesis chapter 12, verse 2. Because that's my calling. That's the scripture God called me by, right? So Trigger then says, you're not alone. We have other hundreds of entrepreneurs who are just business owners, not ashamed of this thing, and they're building redemptive businesses to cover the shame that is in this world. So, and then there's the second venture is Joburg mentors, or mentors who are from around Joburg and Durban, because Cape Town Gathering is mentors from around Cape Town and stuff like that, right? And then Joburg ones away from Joburg, and potential investors come in there as well. So Trigger says, we'll bring in the investors. We just don't promise you that they'll invest. It's up to you. We'll just get you in the room with them. And these guys, they come in prepared to treat you at the level you are at. They don't look down on you. They don't overlook you. They don't treat you a certain way. They are just happy to be there, happy to lend a hand, in your venture. And then, so from then onwards, we do pitchings, right? So that pre-run. So you pitch your business, they fix your pitch, you pitch your business, they show you your errors. Imagine you're pitching in front of 40 people. 20 is your peers, 20 is the mentors. All right. And you are pitching your business, and then they show you the errors because of they're getting you ready for the big conference. And you have 5 minutes to do your pitch. 5 minutes. and you have sort of a tick box that you must try and tick. So you get feedbacks, raw feedback that you didn't touch on the finances hard enough, you didn't touch on your redemptive purpose hard enough. Your redemptive purpose is the CSI project, not your redemptive purpose, fix your redemptive purpose. All of that feedback. You're speaking too fast, you're speaking too slow, you're not emphasizing your model enough, all of those things. And then that's where I've made some real family, honestly speaking. I think the first business deal we had in Joburg, in Sent in Joburg, is one of the trigger peers. He owns a warehouse there. He said, Wonga, I just bought a warehouse. I need fiber here. That's our first customer in Sentin. Comes from Trigger. And then comes the big conference in October, first week, October, yeah, first week of November, October. Then it's everyone from Trigger, the previous cohort as well from the other years, all the mentors, even from overseas, because Trigger is big. Trigger is crazy big. All the mentors from overseas and from South Africa as well. So you're looking at about 200 plus people. And it's a 1 day event. And you have to pitch your business to those people, right? So I did that, and yeah, I think that's one of the most moments I've felt alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where Trigger came in, basically.
Okay. Okay. So, um, this has been a very interesting interview because I've hardly had to ask any questions, and the story in itself, as you tell it, it I don't want to even intervene as you speak because
Oh,
it's very captivating and there are many lessons to learn in it, and I hope our viewers are going to learn as they listen to your story like that too.
mhm,
Two
mhm,
questions to
mhm.
close.
Oh,
Um, I mean, you've built a business and you're still building, you're still scaling it. What are some of the mistakes that you've seen other entrepreneurs do, or some mistakes that you've done that you feel like, entrepreneurs that are starting ventures and are leading ventures should look out for? And then the last one is where to from here? Where do you see Wonga Technologies, and what kind of trajectory are you looking at, and what kind of help, um, if any, would you want to get to where you need to get to?
uh, I think the first question, I think difficult for me to criticize because of I've done a lot wrong. There are a few mistakes I've never done. But I think people who start a business and they isolate,
Mm,
there's no island. There's no person who's an island in
mm,
this world. So I
mm,
think one of the mistakes people make is think that because you have the skill, you have the knowledge, you have the expertise, you have everything, even if you have the capital, but
mm.
it's not licensed for you to isolate and do everything by yourself.
Right,
Entrepreneurs need to network, attend
right.
events, attend gatherings, attend accelerators, attend all of the incubators, attend all of these things, right? Sometimes there are things that you will learn that you didn't know even know existed. Then there are pathways to things that you know existed, but you thought are out of reach. But then someone says, no, I did this way. It's quicker, it's faster, it's better, it's cheaper, whatever. Right? So I think isolation is the first mistake that we make as entrepreneurs. And then I would say the second one is to want to start with funding or capital, right? I get it. Some ventures are capital intensive. My venture is capital intensive. It's very, very capital intensive. Oh no, I operated on a loss for 3 years. On a loss for 3 years, operating on a loss. I would say some ventures do need equipment, material, resources upfront for you to operate, but not every venture needs capital upfront. Sometimes you just need to start and figure things out as you go. You won't have the full A, B, C, D from the get go, but just have the A and the B for now. Work from the A and the B, and then as you grow, you will add the C, you will add the D, you will add the F, and so forth, right? So I see a lot of people who do not want to start without capital because capital means safety, and sometimes safety doesn't produce the diamond that is inside of you, you know. And the last one, these are the ones in corporate and in workplaces like me, like I was rather, they take too long to jump. We have a lot of entrepreneurs who are in corporate world who are taking too long to jump. They are waiting for the circumstances to line up for the jump. And the reality of the matter is they will never line up. You are gonna reach 30, you're gonna reach 35, you're gonna reach 40, waiting for the circumstances to be in your favor. And by the time you make the jump, it will be too late. And then you will blame God, you will blame everything around you. But there is a season that you are meant to jump in life, because life works with seasons and times. There's a time you're supposed to make the jump. And if you delay that, if you miss that, the whole trajectory of your life then changes because of our own fears, our own traumas, our own this and this and this. We are afraid to make that jump. So that's the third one, right? And your last question is, where do I see Wonga Technologies? What's the future like? I think that's what I posted. That's on my profile on LinkedIn. That we are thinking beyond South Africa now. We are thinking bridging Africa's digital divide. Right? We have a target of we want to sponsor 100 rural schools by the end of 2028. 100 rural schools. We want to do that by 2028. So that's one of the big things we are chasing, offering them free Wi-Fi, completely free Wi-Fi, right? It looks impossible on paper. And our stats and our budget and our revenue does not support it, basically. So, but we are believing, we are crazy enough to believe that 2028, by December, we would have connected 100 rural schools to free Wi-Fi.
Wonderful.
So, huh?
I said wonderful. I love the dream.
And now we are thinking outside of South Africa as well. So I think I want to see in the next 5 years a small international footprint for Wonga Technologies in the
Right.
next 5 years.
Okay. And the last part of that is what kind of support do you need?
Capital. Capital. I need capital, Mr. Odo. There is no major service provider or even middle tier service provider in South Africa that was started less than 10 million rand.
Mm.
There is none. All of them 40 million, 15 million, 30 million, 20 million. Right? And here am I pushing this thing on passion. To be truly a big player in this market, to truly change the lives of the South Africans. We want to change and impact and give employment opportunity and connect areas, towns, cities, rural areas, change and transform the digital divide in South Africa. We need serious capital injection.
I hear you. Well,
So that's it.
thank you, Wonga Vakala, for spending time on a grand scale podcast. It's lovely hearing the man that you are, um, the God-fearing man that you are, the human being that you are, the caring, value-based person that cares. It's lovely to hear your history. It's also fantastic to just hear the story of Wonga Technologies and where you are taking it. But not only that, what you have done so far. I wish you all the best, and I'd love to interview you another time when Wonga has
Because I
taken
love the retouch on
um,
show.
because I certainly enjoyed spending time with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zone. Thank you. Is it done recording?